why? And then, oh, I don't want to get emotional. Come on, Nina. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Nina. I know you miss me. Don't lie. Today, I'm back with a storyline. This is not to bash anyone. This video is not to speak down on family members or anything like that. This video is to bring awareness, and it's also to give hope to people that are in a situation that I was, or to people that are going through a situation that I was, that it's gonna be okay, like there's a bright side at the end of the tunnel, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. This video is just simply me telling my story because this is kind of like a therapy to me. This is like my time. This is my moment. This is me speaking out. This is not to like belittle people, family members and stuff like that. None of that. People might ask me, why are you telling your story now? Or people might say, well, I do know that about you. Well, yeah, you didn't. You don't know a lot of things about me. There's a lot of things people don't know about me. Just because I'm a very secretive person, I really don't like telling people my stuff, or I really don't like sharing people my stuff until I trust you. So, all right. I'm gonna try not to get emotional, because when I tell this story, I get really emotional. It's hard for me to say, or it's hard for me to tell this story, because it's like I'm trying to detach myself from the past slowly, and it's like this side of the story has a big impact in my life. Yes, like a huge impact in my life, because it's just like I was only a child. I didn't really deserve to go through what I went through, and no matter how much I try to understand it, I just can't seem to understand why that happened to me. It's mind blowing. So when I was like 5 to 6, my parents got arrested because there was a war going on in Congo, and my parents got arrested, and like it was just some crazy things that was happening in Congo back then. Mom and dad got arrested, so we had to leave the country to go into the other Congo Brazzaville, because there's two Congos. I'm from Congo Kinshasa, so we had to travel to Congo Brazzaville. So so me and my siblings got separated. 3 went there, 2 went there, 1 went there, 1 went there. So we like separated and whatnot. I went to live with my evil auntie. Why I call her evil, you know why. So I went to live with my auntie, and then when I went to live with my auntie, it was just like she took me in, everything was okay, I believe obviously my mom and my dad spoke to her and probably asked her, is it okay if you can have Nina, because this is what we had to do. We had to, we got arrested and this and that and that and that. Bear in mind, I didn't know really what was going on. I had no idea, what was going on. I was a kid. I was a child. I didn't know anything. Like my parents trusted me with this woman. Like they asked her if she could look after me, not for free. They were sending money. Went to live with this woman and her husband. Her husband was really known in Congo Brazzaville. Like he was like I don't know, but he was a very big person at the time. And they used to come in and out the country, like in and out, he used to be in and out the country and whatnot. So my mom, my dad left me with this woman to look after me by myself, with no siblings and whatnot. She accepted to take me in. She was happy to take me in. She was excited. I was excited. I had a place to go, She maltreated me to the point that I felt like, no, why? I don't understand why. So as soon as I got to my auntie's house, she picked me up, got to my auntie's house. There's just, as soon as I got in her house, this lady was like, that's your room. I'm not talking about a nice bed. I'm not talking about a nice room. Like, I'm talking about, I came from a rich place from Congo. Yeah, my parents had their own house. Like, we had soldiers. My dad was up. Do you understand? So for you to put me somewhere where I don't even understand what was that, I'm just thinking, where's my bed? So she put something on the floor for me. It's not even a mat. It wasn't a mat. It was, I don't know, probably a wrapper. Like, if you're African, you know what a wrapper is. It's probably a wrapper. Like, she literally placed it there and she said, oh, you're going to be sleeping there. And this lady had rooms. She had rooms to put me in the bed with my own room. Like, I wasn't asking for much. I was just asking for a bed. Then she was just like, oh, that's where you're going to be sleeping. You have chores now. You're going to start cooking. You're going to start cleaning. You're going to start fetching water. I'm thinking, I've never done this before. I don't even know what that is. Like, you want me to start cooking at the age of 5? Like, you want me to start fetching water? And in Africa, there's like a big well. I'm going to try and place a video, a picture, if I can find a well in Africa. So it's like, it's a big hole where you have to like get a bucket and start pulling the water out and then dash it. Yeah, and fetch it. I'm trying not to cry. But I'm trying to understand why this lady is treating me the way she's treating me. I just don't understand. To me, I just feel like it hasn't sunk in yet. It hasn't registered. She's telling me to do that. I'm only 5. Are you okay? The next morning came. I'm thinking, no, you know what? I'm going to get breakfast in the morning. You know, I'm going to get food. I'm going to get breakfast. Nope. You are making the breakfast. And I've never been in a kitchen because I'm 5. I'm thinking, okay, how am I supposed to make you egg? Alright, so cut the story short, I started adapting to what she kept telling me what to do. I started cooking. If I cook wrong, she would hit me and be like, there's so much salt. If I burn an egg because I've never cooked an egg before, she will get my head and she would get my head and dip it in the water like I can't breathe or whatever. So I'm like, okay, like, this is serious. This is not a joke anymore. You know, I don't want to be getting hit. I don't want her to be spanking me. I don't want her to be beating me up. So I start asking my next door neighbor how to cook, because like, she was witnessing everything. But because my auntie husband was powerful, so nobody could really help me or say anything at the time. Yeah, so nobody could really help me or say anything at the time. And like, she would just be like, it's gonna be okay. And if my auntie starved me, I will go to my next door neighbor and she'll give me food. And my sister came down to see me because my sister was also in the same, not same area, but same country as me. Obviously, like I said, that we all went to different houses. So we was all split up in different houses. So my elder sister came to see me and I didn't know how to tell her. So I bit my tongue for the first time and I didn't tell my elder sister. Oh, I don't want to cry. Sorry. So I didn't want to, 1 second. So yeah, sorry. I didn't want to tell my elder sister what was going on. So I bit my tongue and I just kept riding the pain and kept riding through. And until my elder sister came back and told me, are you eating? And I was just like, no, really. And she asked me why. And then, I don't want to get emotional. Come on, Nina. I don't want to get emotional. This is annoying me. I don't want to cry, guys. I don't want to cry, okay? I'm just telling a story. I don't want to cry. So my elder sister asked me, have you been eating? And I said, no. And she just said, well, you look very skinny. I know you've always been skinny, but you don't look healthy. So I explained to my elder sister. I told her what was happening. And she was just like, oh, don't worry. I'm going to come and get you out. And because she was living with a man, with his family, and there was really, really nice people. I always wanted to go there. I always wanted to stay there. I wanted to be part of their family. You know, I wanted to be where my sister was. And like, he was a very big person as well. He was known. He was like the head of the police officer, like the chief of the police officer. So everyone knew who he was, kind of thing. So she was just like, I have to ask him if you can come round, because obviously it's not my house. I can't just bring you there and, you know, and tell them that, you know, I want my sister around, but I'm going to go and explain to them what's going on with you. So my sister went and didn't come back for like long. Well, I feel like it was long, because when you're in that environment, that toxic environment, and you're getting beat up and, you know, like, it seems long, you know, it seems like it's not ending. It's like the days are so long, like the days are so long. And then I was like to my sister, okay, my sister was like, I'm gonna come and take you out, you know, I'm gonna come and get you. They don't need to know anything. And my sister will hug me, and then she will cry with me and whatnot. And she left. And then when she left, my aunt asked me what happened, and I'm just like, nothing. And there used to be times where they would just leave me in a house with no food, lock me in the house, in that room. Because I told you guys already, they used to travel in and out the country quite a lot. So she would leave me in the room for like 2 weeks, just water, you know, no food. And I start climbing out the windows to go to my next door neighbors. So when I start climbing out the windows, I just like, okay, I can, you know, I can do this now, you know, like, you know, yeah. Like the pain was normal, you know, it became normal. It became a lifestyle for me. Lock me. I would rather for them to lock me in a room and go and just leave me by myself, than her being in a house. Because her being in a house was the worst feeling ever. I grew anxiety. I started moving paranoid. I started watching my step. I started being scared of her husband. Like, I was just so scared. I was very, very scared. And I was so angry. Like, that was happening to me. Those things are happening to me. Like, my mom and dad trusted you. They trusted you to take care of me. You accepted. But what? Why? I don't understand. I still don't understand why. I still don't understand why she did that, you know? So yeah, so sometimes they will leave me with no electricity, like dark room, pitch black, and my next door neighbor will bang through the windows and then hand me food or give me food. And when I mean food, I'm not talking about rice and whatnot. I'm talking about bread and water. I survived with bread and water, okay? Like, to me, it was a huge thing, because it's just like, I appreciate bread so much. It's like, I'm eating bread, because it's like, you know, like, I appreciate my next door neighbor. She used to come talk to me. She used to come and speak to me and tell me everything's gonna be okay. Do you want me to phone your parents? And I'm like, I don't have the number. I don't know how I can contact my sister and tell her. Because I didn't know whether my sister was coming to see me, because I'm in the room. And sometimes my next door neighbor wouldn't be in to feed me as well. So I would just stay in that room hungry by myself, locked by myself in that room. And there was one time my mom and my dad sent pictures of themselves, so I can see how they look like, you know. They used to send my aunt money. So they would send her money for me, they would send her clothes, you know. This lady didn't give me anything. She kept all the money and even hid my parents' pictures. Like, why would you do that to a child? All I wanted to do is just see my parents. All I wanted to do is talk to them. So one day I was cleaning her room, and then she hid the picture underneath her bed. And I'm like, so I saw my mom, my dad, and I started crying. Because I know those pictures was taken recently, you know. It wasn't like, you know, she had pictures of them or whatever. So I knew that they sent her the pictures, and she kept them away from me. I'm like, what? Why? You know, why kind of thing. Like, what was your reason? I just didn't understand. So how I nearly died was, remember guys, I mentioned before, I used to go and fetch water in those big wells. I think that's what it's called. I used to go and fetch water in those big wells. So she used to make me do all of those stuff, wash her knickers, her husband's pants. And if I don't clean them properly, she would smack me for it. She used to make me sweep the whole house. The whole house was big. Like, it was so big, it probably take me half a day to sweep the house. And I have to be on point. She used to eat lunch, breakfast, lunch, dinner. I will cook 3 meals a day for this woman. I was a slave, technically. I was her slave. And if I didn't do what she wanted me to do, her and her husband would smack me. He would beat me up. They would smack me so hard. They would spank me. They would hit me, like, she would choke me, like, she would dash me, she would do all sorts to me. She used to abuse me so bad. It was so bad that I just started being so angry. It was so bad that I had no more love and no more trust for people, because I just don't understand, or didn't understand, why you doing that to me. What's your reason? What's your purpose? What are you accomplishing? What's your mission in my life? What are you doing to me? I'm a child, for goodness sake. I don't deserve any of that. Like, she didn't care whether I was crying. She didn't care whether I was hurt. She didn't care whether I was crying. My mom's name, my dad's name. This lady didn't care. Oh, fuck. This lady didn't give a fuck about how I felt. She didn't care. She's already going through whatever she's going through. She has no mom and dad in this country. I'm supposed to be looking after her. I'm supposed to be her shield. I'm supposed to be her provider. I'm supposed to be her protector. She wasn't even providing for me because my parents used to send this woman money. I don't understand. You had your own money. Why was you taking what was mine? It just didn't make sense. So she got me fetching this water for her. She's like, and I wasn't feeling well. I wasn't feeling well, shivering and whatnot, She didn't take me to no hospital. She didn't care. How I felt sick. She left me outside in the rain to sleep outside in the rain in Africa. And those are from Africa. You know that the rain in Africa is not something so small. It's like, it comes like someone's pouring water on you. Like, it comes heavy. This lady left me outside, and my next door neighbor couldn't even help me. So I was just there, sitting there and getting wet. So I felt ill, and I got ill. When I got ill, she didn't send me to no hospital or anything like that. She's like, oh, the next day, and then the next day she's like, oh, go fetch water from the well, put my bath. I need to have a shower. I need to have a bath and whatnot. I'm like, you've got a whole house. You've got a shower in your house. Why do you need me to fetch water for you? And I'm sick. I'm not well. Like, why? Like, just why? She's like, go and do it. And I didn't want to get beat already. I'm already sick. I don't want to get hit. I'm already feeling sick. I'm already feeling like I'm dying at a point where I feel like I wasn't eating. I lost so much weight. Before I get there, by then, my elder sister was still coming in and out to see me. And when she used to come and see me, she used to bring me food. She was also a child herself. Yeah? She was also young herself. At the time, we had to grow up very quickly, okay? Everyone was going through whatever everyone was going through, okay? So she was already going through her own issue at the time as well. I'm not saying that she's being maltreated or whatever, but where she was, but she also had her own thing going on in her own mind, in her own life that she had to deal with. She was a child. When I mean my elder sister, obviously she's older than me. I'm not going to say my sister, so I'm going to say elder sister. She was also a child herself. She was probably 15, you know. She was probably 15 at the time herself. So bear in mind, she was a child. So she couldn't do much for me, even if she wanted to anyways. But she tried. She would bring me food and she'd be like, don't worry, we're going to get through it. Like, she would even, like, she would be like, let me cuss her. I'm like, no, if you cuss her, you're going to make it worse for me. You know, and my parents wasn't calling them. My parents wasn't calling me. We would, like, they was going through whatever they was going through as well. You know, they just flew a country. Soldiers tried to kill them, you know, like, there was a war going on in Congo. Like, my mom was gonna get beheaded. My dad was gonna die. Everyone was just going through what everyone was going through, you know. So this lady asked me, fetch water for me, and I'm like, I can't. I'm weak. I'm tired. Like, I can't walk. Please spare me. You know, like, take me to the hospital because I am not well. I'm not feeling okay. This lady was just like, no, and she pushed me. So I got a bucket, went to the well that was in her, everything was in her house. Like I mentioned, she got a really big house. So everything was in her house. I'm pulling this water, fetching and putting it and whatnot. And as soon as I start pulling the bucket to put the water up, I dropped in that well. Like, my whole body in that well. As a 6-year-old that is hungry, like, I really felt like I was gonna die. I saw death. I experienced death. Death was close to me. And I'm like drowning in that well because it's deep. Like, I'm in the well. Like, she watched me dropped in the well because she was standing watching me pull this water. She left me in there for good 1 minute. You're probably thinking 1 minute is not a lot of time. It takes a second for a person to die. Like, she left me in that well and it felt like I was in there forever. And she came and I could hear people screaming, but to me, I was actually gone. I was actually dying. But I could hear people screaming and people trying to, you know, rescue me and you know, people trying to pull me out and take me out and stuff like that. So yeah, people got me out there. She didn't take me to no hospital. She didn't ask if I was okay. She didn't care. She probably wanted me dead. But then I felt like she got people to help me because if I was dead in her care, what was she meant to say? What was she going to say to my mom? How was she going to explain my death? You know, like, I still had parents. I still had mom and dad alive. I still had my parents alive. But what if my parents was dead? I could have been dead. Because to me, I don't understand how she got people to help me. That's the only way I can actually explain it. You know, that's the only way I could actually explain why she did that. Why she got people to help me. I just had enough at that point. And my elder sister came and I told my elder sister and we started crying and she was still maltreating me and she was still beating me up and then to the extent where I just felt like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. She turned me into a thief. Like, I start stealing to survive. When I go to the market, when she sends me to the market, I will start stealing biscuit. I will start stealing things. So I know, because when I go home, I don't have food. I know when I go home, she's not going to feed me. I know if I got home, there's nothing there for me. I started stealing. I started seeing people different. So how I escaped? I ran away. She wasn't home. She went out with the husband. As always, they're always going in and out. The work as well, so they used to work. So I waited for them to go to work. Then I just ran away. In the country you know nothing about. I slept on the street. I came from a rich home. My dad was up. I slept on the street because of you, Christine. Like, something could have happened to me. But anyways, I ran away. And where my sister was at the time, the man, like I said, he was known. He was the head of the police officer. Like, he was on top of the police officer. So I start asking, oh my gosh, you know this man? Do you know where he lives? I start asking soldiers, because I knew for sure they will know who he is, because that's the boss. I start asking, oh my gosh, my sister are there, can you please take me to him? They called him, I spoke to him on the phone. I said, please, I just want to be with my sister. He asked me what's going on. I told him I've run away. He asked me why. I explained to him. He met me where I was and he bought me food. He took me in. Just like that. He took me in. And, yeah, he took me in. He took me in. I stayed there. My auntie didn't even call. She didn't care that I ran away. I don't even believe she knew where I was. Because until this day, I haven't heard from her. I haven't spoken to her. Nothing. Nothing. No apology. No nothing. And to me, just like, how can you maltreat a innocent child? Someone that is so innocent. And that's where most of my anger has built from. And people can tell you, let go, it's the past. But as you haven't been in my shoes, the trauma that I live with every day, I'm a very paranoid person. And my mind don't think like others. You know, I say things that I don't mean at times. I've been hurt so many times. I've been independent from the age of 5. You know, I've been looking after myself from the age of 5. I've been a mom to myself from the age of 5. You know, like, there is nothing. There is nothing in this world that I can't do for myself that I didn't do when I was 5. I started looking after myself when I was 5. And there are people out there that are going through, kids out there that are going through what I went through. Aunties out there, uncles, stepmoms that are maltreating children for no reason. Evilness does not pay. Like, you are leaving an impact. You are destroying that child's life. Because when they grow up messed up. They grow up thinking that people don't love them. They grow up thinking like they are alone. And they grow up withdrawing themselves from the world. Because I'm like that. I withdraw myself away from the world quite a lot. If you lived with me or if you know me, you will know I'm a very closed book. Until you're there witnessing what I'm going through, I'm not the type of person to speak out. It doesn't matter if I've got a big house, I'm in a room. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm surrounded with people that love me. I still feel withdrawal from the past. I still feel a type of way because someone decided to put that in me. Someone decided to maltreat me. Someone decided to leave trauma in my head, and I'm actually grown. If you're an auntie, if you're an uncle, if you are a stepmom, if you are a friend of someone, if you are looking after a child that is not yours, I am begging you, treat them like they are your child. Treat them like they are your own, because you have no idea how much you will ruin that child's life, how much you will damage that child's life when they grow up. Because like I've mentioned before, I can be in a room of billion of people. I would disappear and stay in my room. Some people might not understand why. Nigga, I've been in a room from when I was 5. It's a comfort place of mine. It's where I think. It's where I release my anger. It's where I've been releasing my stress. And other people find it hard because of a situation that my auntie created, because of my auntie's evil doing, because of my auntie's evil acts. Love the children that you're looking after. Love them like they were your own. Care for them. Be there for them. But yes, until next time, guys. Ooh, child. That was a tough story to tell. Like I said, I've told my story now to elevate someone, to tell a child that you are loved, and there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And I hope you guys like the storyline. Like I said, I have stories for days, for years, for time. And yes, until next time, I'm gonna have to love you guys and leave you. But yeah, as you can tell, I'm in my room. I'm in my room. I love me some room. I love me some room. I'm actually so grateful to my partner because he understands me like a book. And do you guys like my braid? That's it, guys. That's it for today. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Love you guys. Be kind to one another. Aunties, uncles. Be nice to your nieces, to your nephew, to your stepkids, stepchildren. If you're adopting a child, be nice to that child because that child needs you. You're looking after them for a reason. But yeah.